Good morning, students. Welcome to this session. As you know, we are discussing the 9th standard English subject. The first lesson, the best advice I ever had, written by Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit. We are discussing the paragraphs in the textbook. We have the paragraph 11. So we are discussing in the last period. Let me recollect the points where we stopped the last period. So in the last period, we have discussed that Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, when she was in New York as a leader of the Indian delegation to the United Nations, she has to suffer a lot by means of words from the opposition parties regarding the complaint, that is the treatment of the people of Indian origin in South Africa, and the harsh words regarding the treatment of the people of Indian origin in South Africa, and as well as Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, as she was an Indian. So the opponents made personal attacks on her, and even they are against the India's prestige, and this struck her very badly, and where the same the same attitude will be showed by the Vijayalakshmi Pandit as of that of the opposition parties. That is what the last sentence we stopped in the 11th paragraph. I struck back with the same sharp weapon. That is, when the opposition parties are opposing and using harsh words, the same angriness towards them will be experienced by herself, and later on she is going to be recalling the advice. Let's see what will happen in the next paragraph. Come to the 12th paragraph. Then after a distressing duel of words, I suddenly thought of Gandhiji. When there is a competition regarding this issue of treating the Indian origin people, that is here, after a distressing duel of words. Take down the meanings here. I am going to write meanings. So here, duel, D-U-E-L, duel of words is referred. So what is the meaning of duel? It is a fight or a clash. Fight or a clash, where the clash or fight regarding this issue when she was in New York as a leader of Indian delegation. She suddenly thought of Gandhiji when she was in anger, when she was uncontrolled in her mindset. Then she recalled the advice of Mahatma Gandhiji. So what would he approve? She think of Gandhiji, and she questioning herself that the behavior what she is going to showing, whether the Gandhiji accept or approve this one, to him means were as important as the end in long run, perhaps more important. She then thought that this type of argument, this type of the way she was dealing with the opposition parties, Gandhiji will never like. So she think of the advice becoming cool, becoming partial, becoming what you call cool-hearted, and whereas she retained her perspective. That is the overlook, the point of thinking, she corrected herself what if we succeed in getting our resolution possible by questionable tactics that injured our self-respect? Then she came to a conclusion that if we are going to get this type of attitude with each other, with losing our self-respect and injuring our respect to our India and Indian people, so and getting the solution for this issue, what it is going to discuss under the conference or meeting, possibly questionable tactics. By questionable tactics, by questioning with each other, by questioning with each other in the group, in that team, this will lead to the damaging of our self-respect. So it will going to injure our self-respect, that she remind of it. She think of it is not a good thing. So what she did, she wanted to be use the other method, that she never wanted to react to those harsh words of the opponents. So the next paragraph it was mentioned, that is, before going to bed that night, I resolved that come what might, no word of mine would be lightly used in the UN. So listen children very carefully. After recollecting the advice of the Gandhiji, at that night before going to bed, she resolved. Here resolve means what? Write down. She resolved before going to the bed, that is, the resolve means make a decision. Make a decision. She made a decision that come what might, no word of mine would be lightly used in the UN. She herself become comfortable that she want to be quiet, but let them use words, harsh words or personal attacks, but she is never wanting or never willing to use any type of the words on those. So that means she doesn't want to react to those harsh words. She minded itself be cool in that United Nations. So from then on, I lifted the debate back to where it belonged. Simply arguing, simply questioning, simply debating with the people who are not important, and the thing is not important, then it should be going to waste. So she made a mindset that she will fight and talk, use words where the debate is going to taken into consideration. So refusing to retaliate to personal attacks. So refusing to retaliate to personal attacks. So what is the meaning of retaliate? Retaliate, R-E-T-A-L-I-A-T, retaliate. She refused to retaliate. So retaliate means here hit back, or react or strike back. Hit back, strike back, or react. That means she, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, didn't want to hit back, strike back. That means she refused to retaliate to those personal attacks made onto the India and also her. And to score a cheap point, she think that it is a cheap one. Should not be going to give any respect on personal personality. So she refused to retaliate to those personal attacks. She wanted to debate back where it belongs. So then our opponents met us on the new level, and from then we argued the case on its merit. So the particular platform where the matter was going to discuss regarding the treatment of the Indian origin people in South Africa. So there in that platform, the new level, she argued the case thinking of merits. So next, that means the Gandhiji's advice, that is no one harm you except yourself. So that advice come to use at that particular situation where she lost her control over the matter. Next, 14th paragraph. Before leaving the committee room on the last day, after discussion over in taking consultation of all these precaution measures and the advice of the Mahatma Gandhiji, on the last day of that committee, before leaving, I went up and spoke to the leader of the opposing delegation. I went up to speak to the leader of the opposing delegation that I have come to ask you to forgive me if I have hurt you by any word or action in this debate. So last day of that committee, before leaving, she went to the leader of opposing delegation and apologized herself if she had hurt them by any action or word. That is the sympathy or the respect we should give even the person is against us. It's a humanity that we have to consider the things in a cool manner. We have to consider the things giving importance to all merits and demerits. So when she went and requested and apologized if she had hurt anything by word, then the leader, opposition leader, he shook my hand warmly and said, I have no complaint. He was very pleased with this action showed by the Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit the last day of the committee. And he said, I have no complaint. So then, by these words of the opponents, Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit feel good. It was good to feel right with him, but even better to feel right with myself. So after that, she herself and she with the opposition person, opposition delegation, feeling was right and it was good. Once more, in this way, Gandhiji's advice has saved me from myself. So that time, the second time in her life situation, in a critical, difficult situation, Gandhi's advice came to use and she is able to handle the situation and being comfortable in a mind as well as a physical existence. So, dear students, you have to think of it. Now, it's two situations where the advice of Gandhiji came to use to the Vijayalakshmi Pandit. First one will be when she was upset with the family members and she was against the law of not getting share and she did not want to meet the relatives before going to America. Then the words of Mahatma Gandhiji that you are going to hurt yourself, so it should be very important. You go and meet your relative, say goodbye, then it gives you some relief in your heart. Otherwise, you are going to becoming a burden yourself where you have already lost your husband. And once again, if you are going with angry, without saying goodbye to family members, you will be in a difficult situation. So like that one situation, she is able to speak with the family members and she relieved herself, and she will be escaped from that difficult situation. The same way, the second situation where she was in New York as Indian delegate, leader of Indian delegation. So, becoming discussing and debating on this issue of the not eating well of Indian origin people in South Africa. The same situation where she faced a lot of opposition, a personal attack by words, and also it's a question of prestige to the nation. She once again is able to manage herself, remembering the words of Gandhiji. So, how the Gandhi's advisor come to help. His words have helped me retain perspective even in small matters. She is telling that his words, Mahatma Gandhi's words, have helped her to retain perspective. So, perspective means write down, to retain perspective. Perspective. P-E-R-S-P-E-C-T-I-V. Perspective means point of view. Point of view and outlook. And outlook. Even in small matters. So many women, I imagine, share with me a recurring nightmare. So she is going to share this advice with so many women. Sometime someone important to you is coming to dine. So the guests have arrived. It is time to eat, but there is no dinner. You wake perspiring, relieved to find it is only a dream. So, saying this advice, she is going to discussing the other incidents, saying that it is going to happen to the women who are working in a home. So here, where she was saying that when someone is important to you and that important person as a guest, if you have invited them to dine, that is dinner. So when the guests have arrived and the time it is to eat, then if there is no dinner, there is no food ready, then what will be the situation? So you wake perspiring, relieved to find it is only a dream. So sometimes this will be happen in your dream. That is the women, especially if it is happening in your dream that a person was going to be invited by you, if they have come to you and it's time to eat, and if the dinner was not ready, then think of the situation, how you are going to feel. Suddenly you are going to wake up from the sleep. So, like that situation, the same situation is going to happen to the Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit when she invited the guests as an honor. So, that we will discuss the third incident where the Gandhi's advice is going to be very helpful to her in managing the situation. So let's stop here today. The second situation, that is of when she was in when she was in New York, the issue of treatment of the Indian origin, how the situation is going to be managed by herself. Let's stop here, and the question will be in your examination, how the Gandhiji's advisors, how did the Gandhi's advisor helped the Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit in this situation. So let's stop here up to the paragraph 17 paragraph, 18 paragraph onwards we will discuss in the next period. So before going to conclude, take down the homework question and try to answer this question. Okay. Write down. I lifted the debate back. Very simple question. What we have discussed today in this period regarding that, we have to write down. That is, I lifted the debate back to where it belonged. What was the debate? What was the debate about? What was the debate about? Okay, so write this question and also try to remember the points how she was able to manage this situation. Okay, in the next period we discuss the next remaining paragraphs. Thank you for listening, and do this homework question by yourself. Okay, it will help you in making of your own sentence and answering by listening. Okay, take care. Have a nice day.